What is up, guys? Today we're going to have a tutorial on layering your deep house or future house bases. So right here we have just a little melody. Now you can see this sounds like poop right now, so what we're going to do is we're going to fix that. So we have a blank slate for Serum. Serum is what I personally like to use. I recommend you guys do too. There's a lot of space for FMing, but personally I like to use a pre-FM'd wavetable. So out of these, I tend to like to use Fencer. So it's gonna be a little like, it's not the sound we want yet. So we're gonna change this envelope, right? You can hear some phasing in between each note, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep pulling the decay back until it sounds a lot cleaner. Now, if needed, we could bring the sustain a little down. Perfect. Next, we're going to use a low-pass filter. We're going to bring it back a little, maybe around 200 Hertz. Now, personally, I like to have it around 40. That's a sweet spot. Now, you can have it a little higher if you want some more high-end. It's up to you personally. Alright, nice. Now we're going to bring up the unison. Let's shoot for 2. Personally, I like it at 5, so let's keep it there. Now we can start messing around with these. A hyperdimension. This is basically like the dimension expander on Massive. Alright, that's sounding tight. Now, a lot of people like to use chorus. It's a hit or miss for me, but can't go wrong with a patch that sounds like this so far. Nice. Alright, maybe a little delay now. So we're going to do things a little differently. We're going to turn off BPM, go to link, then we're going to turn these down to around 30. What this does is, if you don't want to use the reverb on Serum, it gives it a little bit of echo so that you can add the reverb in the post-processing right after. So that's pretty neat. Alright, now if you want to add another filter, go ahead. You can get some interesting results sometimes. I'd say it cleaned up a lot of the frequencies. Alright, lastly we're going to use a compressor. Now this compressor I personally like to use to boost the volume, get everything sounding nice and tight. You can do whatever you want. You can use an OTT, throw it on the mixer. Alright, now we can mess with the porta, so it has a little pitch slide. Now that is sounding really neat. Now we're gonna want something a little subby. So we're gonna go basic shapes. We're gonna copy this. Has too much click. Maybe we're better off without the filter. I'm gonna go to the EQ. You know what? You gotta be careful whenever using a compressor on a sub. It can completely squash it, make it sound dull and lifeless. Maybe we should give it a little warmth. Tube is generally a nice way to go. And we could also bring this down a little, maybe an octave. I was hearing a bit of phasing, so I turned it to mono. Now, let's see what it sounds like together. That sounds pretty neat right there. Now, I'm thinking we do something a little plucky. So, let's try a square wave, maybe two. We're gonna make the attack really short, because this is gonna have a lot of high end. Now we're also gonna go, we're gonna FM to B. This is gonna raise the harmonics a little. We're also gonna throw on a compressor. Now, it's not as punchy as I'd like, so we're going to do some kind of pitch automation. So it actually sounds a lot better without the other oscillator, so let's keep it this way. Alright, so if you notice in that spectrum right there, we're missing a little bit of high end. So, one more serum. Now I'm thinking maybe we might add a bit of white noise. just trying to think what we can add. Alright, now it looks like we're filling it in a little more. Now we're gonna add another pitch automation. No, it's the tiny subtle differences that make a track what it is. So let's just have it at 1 semitone. Is that a semitone? Coarse pitch, semitone, who knows? Alright, let's see what it sounds like all together. I'm thinking we bring the decay back a little. Alright, perfect. Now we are going to throw these in the mixer, throw some sidechain and process them. God damn it. Alright. What is this? Alright. So we're gonna all group these to one bus. I'm gonna call it bus. Give it a little icon, maybe. That looks pretty neat. Yellow's a pretty sick color. Let's pick yellow. There we go. No, is that a... Fuck, that happens every time, I swear to God. Alright, we're gonna throw some sidechain on. I personally like to use kickstart unless it cuts out a little too many of the transients. It's also not a good idea to use the bus for your sidechain because each bass is gonna have its own set transient when it hits.
Hello guys, this is Space Jackie here. If you enjoyed the tutorial, subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of Nebula Radio and be interviewed or submit demos, by all means, my email is on the screen right there, officialspacejockey@gmail.com. Stay lit.